3 poorest local authorities in Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland is a region of incredible beauty and rich history, but beneath the surface lies a harsh economic reality for many. While some areas flourish, others are burdened by poverty, unemployment, and social exclusion. According to the Northern Ireland Multiple Deprivation Measure, in this video takes a closer look at Belfast City, Derry City and Strabane, and Armagh City, Banbridge and Craigavon, the poorest local councils in Northern Ireland. 3. Armagh City, Banbridge and Craigavon. The third poorest local authority in Northern Ireland is Armagh City, Banbridge and Craigavon, ABC. While it doesn't grab as many headlines as Belfast or Derry, this council area includes several super output areas ranked within the bottom 20% on the Deprivation Index. It's a district that reflects a different kind of poverty, less concentrated, more dispersed, and often overlooked. The ABC council area stretches from the historic city of Armagh to the fast-growing towns of Craigavon, Portadown, Lurgan, and Banbridge. It has a diverse economy and a growing population, but these averages conceal deep inequalities. In and around Craigavon, particularly Brownlow, Drumgask, and Tullygally, there are clear signs of social and economic deprivation. These areas were originally part of a 1960s new town project designed to ease housing pressure in Belfast, but poor planning, a lack of sustained investment, and social isolation have left a lasting legacy. Craigavon's town centre is underdeveloped compared to other towns of its size. Vacant buildings, underused commercial space, and limited cultural amenities all contribute to a sense of stagnation. Public transport is patchy, and residents often struggle to access jobs, healthcare, or training. Many households in these areas live on low incomes and rely on social housing. Housing quality can vary widely, and maintenance is an ongoing concern. Meanwhile, educational attainment in the most deprived estates is well below the national average. Schools in these areas often face high levels of need, but lack the resources to fully support their pupils. Unlike in Belfast and Derry, the deprivation in Armagh City, Banbridge and Craigavon is less visible. It is spread across rural communities and peripheral housing estates, making it harder for policymakers to spot and even harder to fund. But it is no less real. For residents living in these areas, daily life is marked by economic stress, poor health, and limited opportunities. In Armagh City itself, parts of the town remain vibrant and prosperous, especially around the Cathedral Quarter and civic buildings. However, hidden behind this are pockets of poverty where unemployment and underachievement are growing concerns. Residents report long waiting times for social housing, limited access to GPs, and inadequate community facilities. Despite these obstacles, this council area has a number of strengths. Its central location between Belfast and Dublin makes it a potential hub for logistics and manufacturing. It has access to natural beauty, a strong agricultural sector, and a rich cultural history. What it needs now is strategic support to bridge the gap between potential and reality. By investing in education, transportation, digital infrastructure, and community development, Armagh City, Banbridge and Craigavon can emerge from its current struggles. But that transformation starts by recognising that poverty in Northern Ireland doesn't only exist in its biggest cities, it lives in its towns, estates, and rural hinterlands too. 2. Derry City and Strabane. If Belfast is the economic centre of Northern Ireland, Derry City and Strabane is a symbol of its long-standing regional imbalance. Located in the northwest of the province, this council area covers the historic walled city of Derry and the market town of Strabane, with over 31% of its SOAs ranked in the top 10% for multiple deprivation. The single most deprived super output area in the entire country is East Strabane. This area has struggled with poverty and unemployment for decades. Strabane once had the unfortunate title of the most bombed town in Europe during the Troubles, and was also known for having one of the highest unemployment rates in Western Europe. That legacy of economic devastation still lingers today. In Derry, multiple SOAs, including Creveg 2, Strand 1 and The Diamond, rank among the most deprived areas in Northern Ireland. These communities are impacted by the same issues seen in Belfast: high levels of income poverty, educational underperformance, long-term unemployment, and poor health. Derry has one of the highest rates of economic inactivity in the UK. Many residents are either unable to work due to disability or illness, or have given up looking for work due to lack of opportunities. This has a direct impact on household incomes and quality of life. The city has been historically underfunded, with calls for greater infrastructure investment often going unheeded. For example, despite being Northern Ireland's second largest city, Derry still does not have a completed dual carriageway to Belfast. This affects investment, job creation, and access to higher education institutions. The proposed expansion of Ulster University's Magee campus, meant to increase student numbers to 10,000, has progressed slowly, frustrating local campaigners who see education as a key path out of poverty. Healthcare provision in Derry and Strabane is also stretched. The Altnagelvin Area Hospital serves a vast region, but faces pressure due to under-resourcing. Mental health services in particular are overburdened, reflecting the deep trauma and ongoing social pressures many residents face. Strabane's problems are compounded by its rural location. Many smaller towns and villages within the district suffer from poor public transport and limited access to services. The digital divide is real here. Lack of high-speed broadband and poor mobile coverage hinders business development and education. Yet, despite the hardship, the spirit of the Northwest is strong. Derry is known for its music, arts and culture, qualities that were on full display when it was named UK City of Culture in 2013. Community-led organisations have developed powerful social enterprises and programmes in everything from youth engagement to food insecurity. What's needed now is long-term, strategic investment that addresses infrastructure, skills development, and economic diversification. This means not just creating jobs, but building career pathways for local people and ensuring that regeneration projects benefit everyone, not just developers and investors. 1. Belfast City Council. Belfast is Northern Ireland's capital and its largest city. It's the political centre, a hub of higher education, and the focal point of the regional economy. Yet, behind the bright lights and modern developments, Belfast is home to some of the most deprived areas in Northern Ireland. The contradiction is striking. While some parts of the city boast high-income tech jobs, Michelin-starred restaurants, and shiny office blocks, others face some of the worst deprivation in the UK. According to the NIMDM 2017, Belfast City contains 50 super output areas, SOAs, ranked within the top 10% most deprived in Northern Ireland. 14 of the top 20 most deprived SOAS are located within Belfast. The most deprived areas include New Lodge, Waterworks, Shankill, Falls and White Rock, most of which are found in North and West Belfast. The scale of inequality within the city is severe. In West Belfast, for example, some communities have life expectancies more than 10 years lower than those living just a few miles away in South Belfast. This is a direct reflection of disparities in income, employment opportunities, educational attainment, and access to healthcare. Many households in these areas depend on universal credit or other benefits, and intergenerational poverty is widespread. Another stark indicator of deprivation is in education. In some of the city's most deprived communities, fewer than 20% of school leavers attain 5 good GCSEs, including English and maths. Schools in these areas often struggle to attract funding and retain experienced staff. For many children, a lack of resources at home further hinders their ability to succeed in school. Health outcomes are equally troubling. North and West Belfast see elevated rates of respiratory illness, mental health conditions, and substance abuse. Long-term unemployment and trauma from past conflict continue to affect entire generations, creating a cycle that is difficult to break without comprehensive multi-sector intervention. Housing is another pressure point. Belfast has some of the highest concentrations of social housing in the country. Overcrowding, poor maintenance, and long waiting lists are common complaints. In many cases, housing estates built in the post-war era are now aging and in need of significant renovation. Despite these issues, the city has seen huge investment in areas like the Titanic Quarter, the Cathedral Quarter, and Queen's University. These projects have created jobs and brought economic benefits, but the most deprived areas in Belfast often remain disconnected from these opportunities. Many residents of North and West Belfast don't benefit from the city's new industries due to a lack of qualifications, inadequate transport links, and historical disadvantage. Efforts like the Belfast City deal, a £1 billion investment in innovation, infrastructure and inclusive growth, are promising. However, critics argue that unless investment is specifically targeted at deprived areas, the gap between rich and poor may widen further. Community organisations across Belfast are doing remarkable work, but sustainable progress depends on strategic planning, inclusive policies and long-term funding that prioritises the most deprived communities. Northern Ireland's most deprived local councils, Belfast, Derry and Strabane, and Armagh City, Banbridge and Craigavon, face deep-rooted challenges but also hold immense potential. Lasting change begins with targeted support, fair investment and inclusive growth. A more equal Northern Ireland depends on lifting up the communities that need it most. Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell.